Good morning, freshmen. This is the mixed review ALEKS assignment. It is assignment number 3. We are going to walk through some of these and complete some of them, set some of them up, things like that. Okay, so the first one says find the area of the figure, which looks a little bit complicated, but not really, because what you want to do is you want to come in here and you want to go ahead and draw that line down and draw that line down. And so now you have 3 rectangles. This rectangle is 5 by 8. This rectangle is also 5 by 8. This guy is 4. And if this side is 8 over here and this side is 3, so you have 8 here and 3 here, what's left is 5. So this guy is 4 by 5. So to find the area, you find the area of rectangle 1, rectangle 2, and rectangle 3, which is just length times width as I've written in the middle, and you add the area of 1 plus the area of 2 plus the area of 3. So that one's pretty straightforward. The next one says find the area of the triangle. Area of the triangle uses this formula. Area equals 1/2 base times height. This 7 right here is your height because it goes from the bottom and goes straight vertical to a right angle. And then the 20 is your base. You don't actually need that 15. So plug in your 2 numbers, go from there. All right. The next one says find the area of the circle with a diameter of 10 yards. It says use 3.14 instead of pi and do not round your answer. So area of a circle is pi r squared. So instead of pi, we want to use 3.14 times the radius squared. We are given diameter. Radius equals diameter divided by 2. So this is step 1, is find your radius. Step 2 is going to be plug in, I'm going to change my color here, plug in that answer over here and get the area of your circle. All right, number 4 is order of ops. So think about that. First you do parentheses, then you use your exponents, then you multiply or divide, then you add or subtract. And you read left to right always. So this is number 1. This is number 2, this is number 3, and this is number 4. You need to do them in that order. All right, let's go ahead and do number 5 together. We're going to start inside those parentheses. Remember, brackets are like parentheses, but you always want to go from the out or the inside out, not the outside in. So we need to start with 13 plus 17. And you get 30. So now I have 1 plus 30 divided by 5 times 2. So I still have to work inside of those brackets because they are like parentheses. Division comes before addition. So we're going to divide first. So we're going to go back to this and we get 1 plus 6 times 2. I think you can finish it from there. Obviously, you have to do this first. This is first. This is second because those are still parentheses. Let's work number 6 all the way through. Number 6 says 68 minus 13 times the quantity of 7 minus 2 squared plus 2 cubed. Just like always, we're going to start in parentheses first. So 68 minus 13, 7 minus 5 is 2 squared plus 2 cubed. Then we need to move to our exponents. So we get 68 minus 13 times 4 plus 8. Okay, got to deal with multiplication next. So that's 13 times 4. 13 times 4 is 52. So we have 68 minus 52 plus 8. Now you can plug it straight into your calculator and get out the answer, which should be 24. That is your final answer for that one. Number 7. She's trying to trick you with all of these signs. Negative 30 divided by 6, you start here. So negative 6 minus negative 30 divided by 6 is negative 5. What happens when you have a double negative? It becomes a super plus. So this becomes negative 6 plus 5, which is negative 1. All right, page 3. Okay, it says, consider the following properties of real numbers. And she lists a whole bunch of properties we've been practicing all year. For each equation below, indicate the property that justifies the equation. Okay, so let's do number 1. 6 times n equals n times 6. Which one says, hold that thought, guys, just 1 second. Years. All right. I apologize for that. Had a little technical difficulty. So what property says that I can multiply 6 times n and n times 6 and get the same thing? Or what says 2 times 3 is the same as 3 times 2? Did we change the order, which is commutative property? Did we change who you associate with, which is parentheses? Did we add something that does not change the identity? Did we add the opposite? Did we distribute over parentheses? Now be careful, because 1 and 2 and 6 and 7 are pretty much identical, but one says addition and one says multiplication. So make sure we're using the correct one. We know, because there's a dot between the n and the 6, that 1 through 5 don't apply, because those are not, well, I guess 5 does, sorry, but those are not multiplication. Those are mostly addition. So as we're looking here, we are looking at commute. I drove left to right, and then I drove right to left. So this is property number 6, and you're just going to fill in the number like that, okay? We are not going to do the rest of those. I think you can figure those out. Number 9 says solve for V. So as we are looking at V, sorry, I was ready for a new color. How do we get rid of the 8/3? If you said that you divide by 8/3, you are incorrect. We do not divide by 8/3. We multiply by the reciprocal on both sides of the equation. Those guys cancel each other out. And now you have 3 over 8 times 24 over 1, which most of you, I'm going to assume, are going to put into a calculator, which is just fine. But if you don't want to put it into a calculator, you can take this and reduce, and you get V equals 9. Okay, solve for W. This is a 2-step problem. I will not do this one for you, but moving that positive 8 is step 1. Getting rid of that 2 is step 2. And remember, to move a positive 8, you do not add, because that would give you 16, and it would not cancel out your answer. All right, next we have an equation, and she is showing you the steps to solve it. And what we want to know is, of all of these choices that you have in each of these boxes, so it's sort of multiple choice, which property allows you to go from here to here? And what did we do? We multiplied both sides by 6. Okay. What property allows you to go from that mess to this nice cleaned up version? Okay. So you're looking to see, what math did you do to move from box to box? All right. Oh, sorry, I missed one. Down here at the bottom of this page, it says solve for Y. Let's look at this one, because I feel like this is one where mistakes will happen. I have Y's here and I have Y's here. My goal is to get my Y's on one side of the equation and all of my non-Y's on the other side. So I want to move this guy over to the 3. How do you move a minus 2y? You add 2y plus 2y. So then I'm going to move over here 5y equals 35. I'm not going to finish it for you. I think you can finish the rest. All right, number 13, it says for each equation, choose the statement that describes its solution if applicable. So we want to solve this. I'll solve the top one for you. You can solve the bottom one. First thing we want to do is we want to distribute on both sides of the equal sign. So I'm going to get 6x plus 6 minus 10 equals 4x minus 4 plus 2x. So now we've got some like terms. Here, I have those like terms. On the other side of the equal sign, I have this guy and this guy that are like terms. So before we can do anything else, we have to solve like terms. So if we come in here, if we come in here, we get 6x minus 4 equals 4x plus 2x is 6x minus 4. Does anyone notice anything yet? If not, that's okay. Our next step is to subtract 6x from both sides. Oops, sorry, my hand got stuck. Anyway, we're going to draw our line down there. Those cancel out. Those cancel out. On this side, I'm left with negative 4 equals negative 4. When that is the same on both sides, we call it identity. And when it's identity, it is R with a double bar. And R with a double bar means which one of these up here? Yes, all real numbers, okay? Now, if I were to get something like, say, I'm going to make something up, 8 equals 10, that's not true. So that would be no solution. Or I might end up with V equals 76. Neither of these are answers to anything. I'm just showing you options. So this would be an example of that. This would be an example of no solution. And then obviously if they're the same on both sides, that would be an example for all reals. So those are your three choices as you work through part 2 of number 13. I did not do part 2 for you. I think that's important because sometimes we make mistakes. All right, let's look at number 14, looking at distributive property and combining like terms. So we're going to distribute. We're going to get 7u plus 28 equals, careful, this one's a negative, negative 6u. A negative times a negative gives you a positive 12 plus 7u. Again, I have like terms. Those have to be combined before we can go back to the process of solving. So this guy stays the same. 7u plus 28 equals, if you have 7 u's and you take away 6, you're left with 1u plus 12. We always move small to big. This is a positive one. To move a positive, I have to do a negative. Okay, so we're left with 6u plus 28 equals 12. There are 2 more steps left in this equation. I am going to let you finish it by yourself. That is not a finished problem. All right, number 15. We will work through 15 all the way through together. Let's use hot pink. Nah, let's use a pretty blue. That one. Okay, so we're going to distribute, and we're going to get 2u plus 4 equals 9u plus 32. So we're going to take our small u's and move them to the big ones. Those guys cancel out. I'm left with 4. Oops, sorry, I didn't draw my line. 9 take away 2 is 7u plus 32. So then we're going to subtract 32 from both sides, and we're going to get a negative number. That is okay. You're going to get, I'm going to move mine over to the side, you're going to get that negative 28 equals 7u. We're going to divide by 7, divide by 7, and we're going to get that u equals negative 4. That is your answer for number 15. And just again, as a friendly reminder, finish number 14. finish me. Mrs. Hurst did not finish it for you, okay? So that will get you through the last of the ALEKS assignments, and hopefully you are caught up and ready to go.